Hi y'all, the Seasoned Marketer here with another Monday Marketing Minute. In this video, I'll show you an easy 4-step approach to building the perfect audience for your Facebook ad. If you have spent money running a Facebook ad but didn't get as much value out of it as maybe you had hoped, let's say not enough engagement or views, it may not have been the ad itself, but maybe the audience that you built within the ad campaign was simply too broad. I think you'll be surprised at the kind of information Facebook has available to you as a business owner when it comes to narrowing down your target audience. So let's take full advantage of it, and without further ado, let's jump right into the simple 4-step approach to developing the perfect audience for your Facebook ad. Step number 1, identify your ideal customer. Before you even log on to Facebook to start a new Facebook ad campaign or to design your ad, take a minute and answer these 2 questions. What is the purpose of my ad? Which of my customers is this ad geared towards? For the sake of this example, I'm going to pretend that I own an online women's clothing boutique. The purpose of my ad is to drive women to my website to make an online purchase on Black Friday. So let me think about my ideal customer for this one particular ad. My ideal customer for this ad is going to be a female between the ages of 35 to 55, and I'm not going any younger because of the type of clothing that I carry in my store. I also want their income level to be above $50,000 simply because the clothing that I carry is a little pricier. Because my store is online, geography really doesn't matter, but I don't want to be too broad. I want to narrow down my audience. So for this sake, I'm going to really focus on the Southeast and making sales in that area, really targeting women in that area. Step number 2, choose 2 to 3 behaviors of your ideal customer. Now what I mean is to think about 2 to 3 things that sets this particular customer apart from all the others. So for the sake of my example, not only would I identify my ideal customer as being a female between the ages of 35 to 55 with a household income of over $50,000 and living in the Southeast, I would also go in and say that there are 3 additional behaviors that I want them to have. The first is has recently purchased something on Facebook within the last week, showing me that they're an engaged online shopper, and that they follow Nordstrom's on Facebook because that's the type of female that would more than likely purchase an item from my boutique, and that they're interested in Black Friday sales. Step number 3, build your Facebook audience in your Facebook Ads Manager. So now that we've thought about who our ideal customer is, we're actually going to build our Facebook audience and save it. Now this is extremely important. In order to get the Facebook audience as detailed as what we want it to be, we actually have to go in, build the Facebook audience first, save it, and then go through and build our Facebook ad campaign. Does that make sense? If not, let me go ahead and show you. All right, so now that we're in Ads Manager, I want you to go over here to Assets, click on Audiences, you're going to navigate over here to the Create Audience, the blue button, and select the drop down. You'll have 3 options: Custom Audience, Lookalike Audience, and Saved Audience. Your Custom Audience allows you to actually upload a file, and Lookalike, you could build an audience off of that file. But for our sake, we're going to click Create a Saved Audience. So you'll want to name it something that obviously is detailed and descriptive. I'll use Black Friday. So remember I told you that I'm going to want to target people in the Southeast or women in the Southeast. So what I'll do here is I'll actually type in the state for each one: Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, and I'll also add Alabama. All right, so now what I've done is I've narrowed down my search to the Southeast. And right here, remember, I'm targeting women 35 to 55. Hit women. For languages, I always put English and select US on there. You don't want any of your ads to be targeted towards, let's say, a Spanish-speaking population if your ad is in English. All right, so for detailed targeting, this is where all the good stuff's at. Browse, you'll have demographics, which then can pinpoint further down into education, financial, life events, parents. Let's click on education and see what options they have. For education level, they have anything from associate's degree, doctorate degree, in college. They even have some college if you did some high school. If you go down to parents, you can target parents, new parents, people who have just recently had a baby. You could target people who have children between 13 to 18 years old. Relationship status, complicated, divorced, engaged, in a relationship. If you notice for engaged, it's going to show you anyone who has changed their profile status on Facebook to engaged. This is really powerful information because it allows you to drill down on a target audience and really make sure that you are presenting your ad to people who may potentially purchase your product and not just anybody. So this is just showing you fitness and wellness, what options they have there. These right here are for interest. So not only can you do it by demographics, which is income level and education level, but you can also go in and take a look at their interest if they're interested in bodybuilding or anything else. All right, so what I'm going to do is actually select the first of my demographics. Remember I told you that I wanted people with a household income of over $50,000. So I'm going to select demographics, financial, income, and select the household income top 25 to 50%. Also remember that I wanted to target women who already followed Nordstrom's. So what I'm going to type right here is Nordstrom. And what you'll see is that it populates a couple things. The first one is interest, which is the one that I actually want, where it's people who have shown an interest in Nordstrom. But the other one that popped up was employer. And you could target people who are employed by Nordstrom's. So what I'm doing here is drilling it down even further. And what I'm telling it is that I want it to not only look for these two indicators, but also match this one indicator, which I'm putting as a behavior. And I want it to be an engaged shopper. And basically what an engaged shopper means is that it's someone who has clicked the Shop Now button on Facebook within the past week. All right, so then I save this audience. Step number 4, build your Facebook ad campaign. So now that you have your Facebook audience saved, let me show you how to use it for your next Facebook ad campaign. So now let's go in and let's build a campaign. I've selected the purpose or objective of my campaign, which is conversions. And what we'll do is when you're building this out, you're going to scroll down. Notice that on the right here, your audience size, the indicator is still showing that it's really broad, right? So when I go under use a saved audience and click Black Friday, because that's what I named it, notice that the indicator has now shifted to the middle. and it says that my audience is defined. So it's definitely done its job in narrowing my audience, and I'm certain that it will reach people that that I've elected or selected to reach. Thank you once again for joining me. I hope you found this information useful, and drop me a comment below. I'm really curious, are you blown away by the information that Facebook not only collects but has available to us as business owners when we're targeting ads? I know I am. If you know anyone who could benefit from this video, please feel free to share it with them. And as always, if you want to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram or Facebook at The Seasoned Marketer.